It's your boy Big Dog here. So Shazam just got, I ain't gonna say it got greenlit for a sequel, but I see a sequel is on the way. The writer's back. The guy who wrote the first one, who yep, I did. I thought I had it pulled up, but I guess I got off of it. The other guy who wrote it, I think it's Dylan Henry or something like that, who wrote the first Shazam film, is coming back to write the second one. And this is just me talking about what we hope to see. You know what I'm saying? What we want to see in the sequel. I know a lot of people want Black Adam, and me too. And I ain't no point in me lying. I want to see Black Adam in it too. But my whole thing was we're getting a Black Adam film. And I know they probably gonna have to shoot those films back to back because like the young actors and actresses are getting older, so they're gonna have to hurry get these movies out while these kids are young. My whole thing about, and I want to see Black Adam in the first Shazam. I thought like them not putting it in there was a mistake until I saw the film and I was like, this is absolutely perfect. I don't change anything. Now when I see Black Adam and the stakes are higher and everything, because I've grown to care about the characters. So now when I see Black Adam and I know what Black Adam is, a tough son of a bitch, it's gonna be that much tougher. But to get to this, other than seeing Black Adam, which that's just a guarantee. I know I want to see him, but I don't even if I don't get Black Adam in Shazam 2, and they save him for like the third one, I would be fine with it. And let me tell you exactly why. One, because we have Mr. Mind, and like you saw the caterpillar at the end, and like he tells the Dr. Savannah like there's more ways to get the magic. He's a genius. Like he can control people, so we might see that. But it's the current run of Shazam that was really got me thinking that they can do some special stuff with this sequel that plays really into like the family aspect of it, because we've seen these characters, we already like these characters, but I think we get more. We can even dive deep into these characters if we go back into the Rock of Eternity and we open up the Magic Lands. By that I mean we go to there's seven Magic Lands, seven realms. I would say. Fun lands, the game lands, the wild lands, the Wazender lands, the dark lands, earth lands is like where they at, and 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. No, that's all of them. That's all of them. And we actually see the wild lands in Shazam. Like it's when Eugene opens when they trying to lead the Rock of Eternity, and Dr. Savannah's chasing all of them. And they're trying to lead the Rock of Eternity, and they get to all those doors, and the first door they open is actually to the Wildlands. Because though you see those alligators in they're in there playing like cards, then they run to the door. That's actually that shot of the alligators with it's like a cigar in their mouth is like a shot, a specific shot from the comic, like issue 4 of Shazam. So go out there and pick that up because it's super good and super fun. Then you have the game lands where you can't leave unless you be the game master. Like think about how this stuff would play to an audience of kids and adults who like this is like Ready Player One meets freaking Chronicles of Narnia. Meets Disneyland, because the fun lands are ran by King Kid, who's a person who doesn't like adults, hates adults. He has a tragic backstory where his parents mistreated him, so he ended up getting the power to like run over this fun land. But when you turn 18, you become a slave, and when you become an adult, you have to work like an adult nonstop until you die. So like this is like some, I know that kind of seemed kind of dark, but like it's a way like they had 7 deadly sins of Shazam, so they can make it work, and that's what I'm hoping we see. Like some of the other like like I said, it's on the comic is only on issue 4, so we haven't went to all the worlds. The wild lands is like it's an entire world of straight animals, where animals dress like humans, and like humans are actually extinct in that world, and so they get on like us, and that's why I think we're gonna actually get Tony like Shazam's tiger, because he's actually in that realm. And But because we didn't get the story of Tony with this, where like Billy goes to like the zoo and sees like Tony, and that's one thing that kept him connected with his family and so on and so forth. Like there's so much that they can do simply between all these realms. You have the monsters land. Like it's like this is like some lore for your ass if you trying to do a sequel. That's why I said you don't necessarily need Black Adam in the sequel. I want it, and like you can give me Black Adam in the next one, and then give me this for the third one. But I would, it's crazy. I never thought I would say I didn't want Black Adam in the sequel. But just based off the current run of Shazam that I'm read, and based off what I've seen from these kids and the cast in the first Shazam film, I feel like this is the better move for a second film. Because Mary's 18, so when she goes to the Funlands, they gonna kick her out. You know what I'm saying? They gonna send her to the below too, because like the people, you have to just read. I don't really just want. I've already spoiled too much of the current Shazam run by Jeff Johns. It's fantastic. Like it's fun. The artwork is amazing. But this is what I want to see in the sequel. Like the stuff with Mr. Mind, great stuff. Black Adam, I know it's fantastic because The Rock's probably gonna kill it. Rock versus this Black Adam versus Shazam on screen, something live action I always want to see. It's just I think the exploring the world building that you can have with the Magic Lands and exploring the King Kid. You can still do Mr. Mind. You do, like I said, the Game Master and the Game Land, all that stuff. I think is a better sequel than what we realize. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what they're gonna do. I'm hoping this rock they go, and they could put it all in. I just feel like that would be stuffing too much. So I was kind of like, hey, give us this and then give us that. Like I don't get me wrong, I do want that Shazam versus Black Adam, but I think this is the better move going forward, unless they shoot them back to back, and so we still get the kids as kids. Because if they don't shoot these, if you let's say you do Shazam 2 with like Black Adam as like the main villain, and you don't do like the explore like the Magic Lands. That's two. Let's say this movie come out 3 years from now, and then you have the next one come out 3 more years from now. Like Darla's looking at like she's 16. You know what I'm saying? She's not gonna get like the cute little stuff that you got. Kind of cute, cutting freaking hot or some shit on to keep running hot. But yeah, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? They can. I feel like they can do anything. I feel like they got like right now they got my trust, and I feel like they're gonna weigh their options very very well. And I think they know what they got, and they know what their audience is now. And I think Shazam 2 is definitely gonna be bigger than the first one, because this one like it came out, it did pretty good. But I think the next one, I hope they keep the budget small, because I think the next one you're looking at $100 million opening for the next one. I think after the success of this one and the word of mouth, like after it carry on, then people see it like later on, like Netflix or Hulu or whatever, when it comes out, I think this is gonna really carry on well, and the next one's gonna be a huge hit. So I really hope they really like get down and choose like which one's the best to come after this, because people aren't looking for Black Adam now, like the regular person who didn't know Shazam, like the Shazam fan. It just, for some reason, this video just keep cutting off. But yeah, I think this movie gonna stand on its own, and people gonna go back to see. I think people gonna see the sequel because of the sequel. That it's a sequel to this. They're being discovered in some way, some manner, or some kind of way. They'll be done seeing this movie, check it out, and be like, oh yeah, I definitely want to see a sequel with that. So I think no matter what they do with the sequel, no matter who they have in it, I think, don't get me wrong, I think The Rock is a big name, and having him in the sequel would mean a lot to people. But I think that the sequel gonna do well regardless, just based on the quality of the actual first film. But you guys let me know what you think they should do for the second film. I mean the sequel to this, or just let me know what you think that the whole plan should be for like the second and third film. If we get one, let me know what you think down in the comments, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. I'll catch up with you guys later. My